Yo, let me know. Can y'all hear it knocking now? I logged out and I logged back in. Let me know, let me know. Can y'all hear the sounds? You hear the water and shit? Can y'all hear the water? Let me know, man. Put something in the chat. Are we good? All right, cool, man. Because they muted me on, they're trying to mute me because they know we coming at their ass. They try to hate on me as far as like a racial thing, like, oh, hurtful black guy. Like, no. We've been through shit. We didn't do it. We still happy. We know how to cultivate happiness. But right now, we're gonna trigger some folks who ain't in a spiritual development. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate you. Yo, Random, what's good? What's good? Dark Soul. All right, peace to the God. I gotta get up with you. All right, so yeah, man, they was hating. So now we're telling you now. Celibacy is what triggers these insecurities into people. It's hard to be celibate. Wanna know why? Because jacking off is really a delusional thing. I gotta say it. It's a disgusting thing. Now, I was getting into it earlier, so I gotta bring it on back because, you know, when people gaslighting and projecting their insecurities on you, they're in their lowest level of life. When you're dealing with celibacy, man, you're dealing with energy from the creation. You're playing with your inner cosmic orbit now. You're gonna deal with all kind of energies, but once you tame it, it goes a certain way. You'll have it mastered by the time you get into the spirit realm, because everybody got to get into the spirit realm. Either when at nighttime. So this is how you master this is when you master your dreams. You know, when you're mastering your dreams, the things of that nature. Celibacy, a lot of people, it takes it as a punishment. It triggers the insecure individuals. You know, they'll want to point the finger and low and racism is a bad thing. And when I'm pointing out to certain situations like what happened in Minneapolis, which was another situation where I was connected to spiritually, I lived there right down the street from 34th and Portland, you know what I mean, with that lady, we all feel bad as a people, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it just try to paint a bad picture for black folks and shit. We don't care. We care, nigga. We give a fuck. They know. We all care. We care about what happened over there. It's a sad situation. But anyways, though, but with celibacy, we're jumping back into what triggers. You know what I mean? Why is it triggered? Why is it triggering to individuals who say, "Oh no, I ain't got to do that." You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do no spiritual thing. A lot of these spiritual teachers that was actually caught up. I'm talking about like your Malachi Yorks, your Elijah Muhammad's and shit. These are the people who came to the hood and even went to the prison and get niggas and shit. Like, yo, nigga, come to my religion, I'ma take care of you and shit. You know? But they was already dealing with underage women, underage girls. Like, I guess they feel like, you know, hey, this is in the scripts they was doing this too. So I guess they felt they had a charter. But the Malachi York actually supposedly went to jail for this shit. And people are actually, you know, campaigning for this bro. You know what I mean? And he had a for sale sign up on Holy Land. The Most High said, don't sell the Holy Land. And we got a for sale sign in front of the motherfucker. He telling us we all Native and Indian. See, he only very small. He's small. He talked about Empress Versity. He put a little bit in his book called Let's Set the Record Straight, dealing with the Book of the Moors, right? You know what I mean? So he was talking about the Moors coming from over there in Morocco. He had the same White House over there with the whole Ku Klux Klan look and everything. You know what I'm saying? He was just hinting the shit of what they, like this is what they did over here. They took over this part. You know, them niggas over there. The Moors ain't us, man. You know, and a lot of niggas over here are under that illusion still. We were already self-sufficient with plane, trains, and automobiles. Already popping, man. 17,000 buildings in Chicago downtown alone was burnt up in the Chicago fires. You know how many buildings that is? And look how many buildings was left. So you know niggas was popping, man. You know? So you can't believe the narrative of these individuals. Just like you can't believe, you know what I'm saying? You can't trust a motherfuckers or a person really gets judged by their criminal record, being that they can probably repeat the same fucking crime. So you got to do something when you're serving justice to these type of individuals. But back to being, you know, celibate for the chosen, because this is what's gonna separate us, the wheat from the tare. Everybody right now, you know what I'm saying, that's on semen retention and everything, all the powers is working right now. Everything's happening. The dragon's waking up. Everything's going on, no matter what part of the world you're on. If you're in America, it's definitely popping, G. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere they got the mounds, it's popping. Ancestors is doing what they do, you know? And so the only way to contact and talk and to repent spiritually, because we're spiritual people, everybody in the world is spiritual, all of our days, we're all natural people, you know what I'm saying, when we're dealing with, you know, the natural cultures of the world, you know, we're teaching the Caucasian right now, what they call them the Caucasian. There's so many different kinds of shades that there's actually nice ones and shit too. You know, I'm not gonna put all of them in the book because NOI talks about that. You know what I'm saying? He paint them as they paint them as a bad picture. You know, a lot of things that's coming to the forefront now. We're dealing with a whole group of people You know, we were dealing with a whole world spell. Everybody believed the world was a globe and all this shit. Everybody was under the spell. You know what I'm saying? And part of the whole world, people was accepting treaties, didn't know they was turning their back on the Most High's people. You know, so now they repenting. They want to figure out how to repent. Now we're just like, yo, y'all too gonna have to be celibate. The chosen ones of y'all culture gonna have to be celibate for these next 14 months. This is the year of the lamb, the year to go. You gotta kind of sit back. It's nothing. You can't run in the streets and do nothing in protest. If anything, you gotta boycott. This is the only way. You know what I mean? Because now the veil is down. It's the 250th year of America. We know we the true Americans and shit, and we love, you know, we had the Abyssinian. People was already coming over to our side of the world. It wasn't like we was cut off. We was cut off at the end. We cut them niggas off because they was coming over with that bullshit. We cut them niggas off. The Moors, man, the European Moors. Them was niggas, man. These ain't white folks. Them was straight niggas, man. All right? Europa and all that. They got ill on us now. I'm not mad about them or nothing like that. But they had something to do with the turning to everybody, gaslighting and projecting their weak tactics onto everybody. Why? They low, lustful. We weren't lustful people, G. We were married. We married each other. It means that we were highly spiritual, that we found our twin flame in the flesh, motherfucker. This is how in tune we were. We weren't sitting there having orgies with, you know, hybrid creations and labs and shit like that. Busting nuts and all these things being at the lower at the lower heart chakra and shit like that. We weren't on that, man. But we got to that point when they forced it on us. We didn't willingly give nothing. We didn't willingly give our asshole up for no man. These people put a certain species on us that was very in the lower realms. Their spirit touch is very low. Like ours can touch ethereal. Their shit can touch very low of the creator. Most I like, you don't want to see that part. But these individuals are very, even though the way they look, they're hella sexual, submissive. This is how niggas got in trouble for getting in crimes and shit. That way was like, now that I'm in the crime, she sucked my dick, type shit. You know what I'm saying? She wanted, I don't know nothing about sucking dick. My girl don't suck dick. She like, yeah, that's why you with that bitch, because she be sucking dick. Oh, that's why you with his ass, because he be licking your pussy. But it's different though. Now we see it in the porn and shit. We naturally are loving beings. You know what I'm saying? The ghetto gaggers, that's different. That was, you know, that's real how they are and shit. They want you to believe the romance novels and shit like that. They don't have that romance. They call it romance. That's dealing with, you know, Roman shit again. You know what I mean? They know it's some highly sexual motherfuckers. You know, a lot of things, man. So for us, our power lies in our kundalini and getting it under control. This is why a lot of men have, you know, prostate cancer and prostate problems and shit, because they jacking off too goddamn much. By the time they get 60, they gotta have prostate surgery. Bladder done got weak and shit, because you done busted so many nuts since you was 13 years old, man, coming through your urethra. You ain't supposed to have that shit popping. That shit ain't supposed to happen like that. They force it on us. When they taking babies and boys, they always been dealing with boys and molesters and shit. When they took niggas out, boys and shit, and fucked them and all that, boys didn't know what the fuck was going on, forced it a nut on them. You didn't know what the fuck what that was. Boys was innocent. Our people was innocent. So we know now what it takes. It takes celibacy. That's how you get your power back. And taking your power, because you're gonna be like enlightened. It's like, and you ain't down in your lower self. Like, man, I'm gonna do this, Or if you're gonna let your kundalini go the opposite direction, like, you know what I'm saying? When you actually in tune sexually, you can see what the other sexual desire of another motherfucker is, and you can be turned on by that. A lot of people can't get turned on. Like they don't have that in depth of spiritual sight. This is why you gotta cultivate that kundalini, man. You know, because they use porn is out. It's over now. You gotta get an app. These motherfuckers is on your page. Like, hey, you wanna watch some porn and shit? Hey, I download this app. That's what they own now and shit. Because they can't. They like selling it like it's motherfucking, third market. Yeah. So at the lower fourth dimension, basically, a lot of books kind of about this. Like nothing in this book is true. Is exactly how things are. A couple other books, The Dawn of the Fruitarians and all these other books, you know what I'm saying? So everybody, you know, has a little story about these situations. Everybody trying to raise up in vibration of spirit. When they talking about these stars, the only way you're going to be reaching them through sight and vision and sound and your spirit and your dream and shit is through kundalini. It's through your harnessing your energy, your inner cosmic orbit, you know? You got to, these next 14 months is actually going to help you. Because it's going to be a lot of lustful things, a lot of low vibratorial things going on. You see a lot of shit happening because there's a lot of people, a lot of men right now is actually becoming celibate. They're actually changing the vibrational frequency of the world, which is a good thing. Because now we're not giving into our lower, weaker desires, whether it's on ourself, jacking off, or looking at something else. Because you can look at it and it can create that dopamine. You realize you was actually addicted. You don't know that because at the time you was just looking at that shit like it was motherfucking nothing, like watching popcorn, eating popcorn, and you eat when you watching that shit, like that was nothing to you, man, because you was desensitized. You got custom B personality, highly sexual, hypersexual people. And we got hypersexual because we was turned that way. Our kundalini was really high, man, so it could damn near make a person who was super horny, you walk past, they could damn near be grabbing their shit, whooping on their ass and shit, then they're about to go jack off. If it's a man or a woman, go think about you somewhere. Because you have something different now inside you. It's more than just you have the shell of a body. It's like, damn, when they say, oh yeah, talking about the black man being poor, like, yeah, I'm poor, I ain't got no domicile, nigga, I ain't got no domicile, this, that, that. But I trigger motherfuckers due to the discipline and shit. You know what I'm saying? But those who got $50,000 cars and houses and homes, they need the validation of individuals who's actually in the spiritual world. You know? That's why Buddha, Gautama, remember that's from America, that nigga went out into the, he was rich, but he had to leave that shit alone to actually experience the world. You can't just go into the world and be rich and don't experience it. Anywhere I visit and go to, it's more than just going and visiting a fucking a resort somewhere, man. You gotta walk and feel and smell the beat of the fucking street where people lived and died at and shit. Spirits gonna have to feel, that's why people be so afraid to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because their kundalini is low and they don't want to go through the hood because there's more spirits that are attached to them and shit. It's a lot of things on, man. You know, it's a lot of things. The spirit game is real. Now we finna know why we was in certain areas in the first place. And they trying to bring us all together like it's a kumbaya thing. It's not. Everybody's gonna be separate according to their elevation. Maya, yeah. See, Gautama. And his name, her name was Maya. Ain't that something? And they found it, and they found a coin with him in Lake Michigan. You know? So that proves that everything was brought over. And Zarathustra, I'm gonna touch into Zarathustra a lot more. You know, I'm gonna get a little bit more deeper in Zarathustra because that story was mimicked by the false Osiris, you know, the false Heru, because we had it first, which is the light, the mama with the light child. They was talking about Zarathustra. This is like the Brahmins, you know, this is where the false Brahmins or the Brahmins, you could say, to kind of link it to that. This is where they learned the great Zauzer religion. You know what I'm saying? But this was just all about natural, teaching you how to transition, knowing that if you're one of the all spirit, how your family who's not of the all spirit, that y'all is gonna be, they're gonna be quarantined away from you. They're not gonna see you once y'all transition and shit like that for us. Some seasons, you know. It's a what is getting established now is a star fleet, everything star forts, everything's getting established like Star Trek right now, too. You know what I'm saying? And it all is going to show through the evolution of the spirit, like from all the way from the creepy crawling little motherfucking bacteria that all the way up to the man, to the dragon, the air dragon, the sky dragons in the sky. You know what I mean? To not the solid ones. I'm talking about the actual light ones and shit. You know, and that's why we ain't supposed to be eating the animals, because imagine if the light ones eat us and shit. They don't eat us. They eat atmospheric substances. Like, you know, you train yourself to eat what you're supposed to eat. All the animals do it, but you got the choice. And, you know, of course, we learned from someone who was taught to eat the wrong foods too. You know, so we were taught to eat the wrong foods, but we made best we could. And now we even grown from that. So people are all like, oh, I don't like the soul food. Well, a lot of people like the soul food, but this is like, nigga, we had to make this out of what we had, nigga. You don't even understand. So we kind of use this as a ritual to know where we came from. When niggas was eating chitlins and shit, like, nigga, I eat all the chitlins. I put the hot sauce. Niggas was saying that in a bold method, like, I eat chitlins because my ancestors had to eat. That's why they ate that shit. It wasn't like, and they felt like they was doing something right by saying that. You know what I'm saying? So they felt like they was doing something right by saying that. You know what I mean? So anyways, though, we was already up on our kundalini, man. We was virgins up damn near up until 30 years old, man. Super strong ass motherfuckers, Steve. Super strong ass virgin, man. We weren't having babies at 15 years old. We weren't going around mating with nobody. We weren't mixing our seed with nobody. You know what I'm saying? We already was amongst each other for tens of thousands of years before we even went out into the world to even see other cultures, man. Before we even went out into the world, you gotta understand, dude. Niggas, and they know now that you ain't recognize niggas as the oldest people in the world, dude. You know? How we got that old is through our kundalini, man. We learned how to live through our kundalini. We weren't wasting our talents, our sexual energy on just frivolous things and shit. We were actually cultivating our energy. You see, and Mud did and all them, my ancestors, all them, man, got to 109. 109, 110, 120, man. Touch your face, you can feel that this 120 years old touching your face. This is in Mississippi, me like, oh, baby. Remember when you was born? I don't even know yet, but she know me. They all know, all the ancestors. That means the ancestors know. All you gotta do now is just go ahead and cultivate that kundalini. Just repent. Be celibate. It's gonna trigger the weakness in other motherfuckers. Motherfuckers gonna be mad at you. You don't even know why they mad at you, man. You're gonna be pulling with females. Females gonna be choosing up. You know what I'm saying? People who ain't never had a chance to have a female choose up, they're gonna choose up. They're gonna feel a little certain way around you. The men gonna feel a certain way. They be like, man, you're poor, you ain't nothing. Nope, I ain't got no domicile, I ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? I just eat fruit. You know what I mean? I eat once a day. I ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? I got knowledge, wisdom, and understand. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing in y'all world. But why you feel some way about me? Why you feel some way about me? I can actually help you and teach you. But you in an egotistical sense, I can't do nothing. I gotta sit back and just live myself, do myself. I can't just be out here pointing fingers and say, yo, brother, you gotta do this. You gotta see it and see that it's possible and see that it could be done. And that's where we at right now. We're done with all that. We don't want to heal you, motherfucker. We want to prevent some shit at this point now. We don't want to heal you, we want to prevent shit. You know now, well, we gotta heal as my age, but for the young ones that's coming up, they're gonna be able to do it like that. For the new little 13, 14-year-old, they ain't gonna be wasting that seed. Two butterflies, man. I got the bugs. It's most high now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be wasting that seed like that. These people gonna be 13, 14 years old, very in tune. They ain't gotta go through gangs. They ain't gonna have to worry about walking on the street, get police shooting at them and pulling them over and shit when they mama ain't around them and shit. They wait for you to lead out. They ain't gotta worry about that because they're gonna be up on their kundalini. They're gonna be tuned with their energies, their gifts that they was given. They're gonna be cultivating that. And that's all the temples that they're gonna be in your body. That's why this temple is the most important temple. It ain't in no temple in no building. When we walk in the building, yeah, we in that motherfucker. But outside that motherfucker, we out here with the earth. You know what I mean? And then we in here. So you gotta clean this out to make sure you get the right downloads because we're all getting inspired by spirits in all forms of fashions. We just want to be inspired by our ancestors who actually already traveled the world thousands of years ago. And they know that shit. So that's why they try to do whatever it takes to detach you from your spiritual umbilical cord. It's a long umbilical cord to get connection to your family. That's why they get a great deal to get to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Sending false prophets and everything. We was up on our kundalini at those times. But at the same time, we were still low. We low now, but we're finna change up. Everything's changing up now, you know? So you're gonna get gaslight, people gonna call you all kind of names and shit, because they don't have the discipline to be able to do it. And it's the most funnest thing in the world you can pretty much do. One of the funnest things, you know what I mean? You appreciate life, you appreciate things, you appreciate the shit, and the life will know that you appreciate it. A lot of motherfuckers can't even go sit by life right now. They probably even never slept under the stars one night. I'm talking about look right up at the stars one night in their life. You know what I mean? Or slept on the earth and sat on the earth even like this, how I'm sitting on the earth. People don't even do that. Niggas don't even do that no more. But once you start getting kundalini, you're gonna be appreciating that shit. Your kundalini start going up, you're gonna be holding the tree, the lava stone with the crystals in it, like, damn, nigga, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? They be like, damn, it's getting them downloads. You know? Because you're like the spirit Wi-Fi. You get tapped in, man. You got the feather, you know what I'm saying? You just tap. Now all of us is like this, you know what I mean? We can call each other without even a phone. You know what I mean? We already got the crystals in us. I got the silicone crystal already in me. Shit. The phone is mimicking me. Shit. I can invoking mind mail with your ass like, yeah, nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? We can do it on a little level through the tarot. Just imagine on the highest levels. Wow, in the flesh. You know, that's what we cultivate now, G. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna let the powers that were and be do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to chime in real fast. You know what I mean? Just the key to salvation within, definitely, is celibacy for a season for sure. But you can't just go back into the world having sex again like that. A lot of cultures, they have to have someone to look up to dealing with celibacy. You know, we hear of China and things of that nature, but China know about us. You know, so they know we already had it to a certain point, and we already did it. So just tap into them genes, you'll see that it's possible. You're able to do it. Cleaning up your DNA or your DEA or whatever you want to call it. Cleaning it up on a cellular level, doing cell therapy, eating them fruits, berries, and melons, and getting them kidneys to filter as much as you possibly can. You know what I mean? So you can be able to pinpoint your discernment and keeping your gut clear. You do have to take shits, and if you ain't taking no self-eating and that's just clogged up, which is just dropping your soil, your thoughts ain't gonna be right. So it's good. You want to be on the right schedule to get that up out your AM before you even do anything in your day. All right? Unless you gotta do something at night and you work at a different time, you know, whatever. But yeah, but it's that time. It's the lamb time, man. You know, love always matters. Just because, you know what I'm saying? And it's the GOAT. So we ain't gotta say much. People talking on our behalf right now, you know. Just do what you do. This is for the chosen ones all over the world, because I know I talk to chosen ones from everywhere, from Turkey to Japan to New Zealand to Australia, different ones. You know what I'm saying? That's in tune and tapped in and know shit. You know what I mean? And all they need is they know they eat vegan, they eat fruitarian. They just need to know the next thing. You know, that's the next thing is the celibacy. We all be at the top. So I see y'all at the top, which is the crown. Peace. Oh yeah.